Preserve, right? How bad did I butcher that?
Not bad at all, right? Not bad. Are you on it? Yeah.
Narchic. Okay. Or did you want a courtesy of the floor?
I do, just very quickly.
Okay.
It'll be really quick, unlike our Planning Commission meeting today, but
That's all right.
it's the Planning Commission meeting that inspired me to come forward today. The Bonarchik Preserve is going to be our 22nd county park. And the reason I wanted to address council today, in addition to drawing attention to that fact, because we're spending so much time talking about warehouses, truck traffic, and air pollution, I don't think we're drawing enough attention to all the green and open space that we have preserved in Northampton County. You're going to see a slide today from Brian. Since 2006, coincidentally, when I arrived on county council, we've preserved over 3,000 acres of this land. Since 2018, we've added almost 300 acres to our county park system. This is a very big deal when you're pushing back against warehouse proliferation, truck traffic, and air pollution. And so we spent a lot of time talking about planning today, but Brian Cope is a doer. Sherry Acevedo is a doer. They're actually helping ensure that our future is green, and these folks, the Wassels, are also doing their part to making sure our future is green. And I think it's very important that we continue to emphasize that. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, County Executive McClure. Now, without further ado, Brian, the floor is yours.
Good evening. As County Executive McClure said, this would be our 22nd park, our fourth edition within the past few years. And just to take a little bit of a review before I get started on the presentation, we found an article dated back from 1991 in the Morning Call. And my predecessor, actually two before, Bill Minio, talked about this exact land. He worked with Paul and Ann, who are sitting behind me today, John and Wassel, their brothers. And in the article, it states, the area has an interesting culture. It is the last vestige of PA Dutch in our region. And coincidentally enough, this statement, as land values continue to increase and the amount of open land decreases, it will be more expensive to buy parkland. Well, I'm here to tell you that we have a very exceptional property that we're going to be getting as a bargain sale. And I'll go through the process about the different types of sales and everything, but they're going to be donating 3/4 of the land value for themselves to keep the cost down for the county to preserve this. So this is a slide that just shows the overview of where our county parks are located currently, the 21 different parks, trails, preserves that we have, and the red star in Allen Township near the Lehigh River on the west edge of the county shows exactly where the property was located now.
Where that star is, yeah.
Yep, if everyone can see it. So it fits directly in with our livable landscapes, our plan that we have. All 5, 6 goals are met with this property. And as Executive McClure said about the, since 2006, the accomplishments that we've done, this property now, let me get my notes, will increase our preserved open space areas to over 3,600 acres, 3,606 acres total. And through just county parklands through this time period, it'll be 336 acres. So you can see we've done a great deal of working to keep our county green. So this is the different land conservation options that we address when we talk to different landowners. We have the fee simple acquisition, which is what we've done with the Spangler property, as you know. That was a fee simple straight purchase. We have conservation easements that we run through our livable landscape grant programs that help municipalities. The landowner has the ownership of the land, but the development rights are taken off of the land. We have many of those throughout the county. We have number 4, a full-fledged land donation, which Hexenkopf Ridge Preserve from the Hindells. That was one of our most recent ones. And today, the Bednarchuk track is a bargain sale, and I'll go through how that works. Before I get there, the site location and the history, it's actually right across the street from Allen Township's municipal building. There's forest, there's wetlands, there's the Hockendackwa Creek, there's steep slopes. It's actually a very, very pretty property. And here you can see the area shaded in gray would be the 42 acres that would be coming to the county. And then the area that's not shaded but still within that green acre are the 16 acres that Paul and Wassel would like to keep and retain in the family. Farming on that property allows them to keep their property in the family. This goes back generations, so it's a great opportunity to showcase much of the stream front, some farm wetland areas, and then they still retain areas right around where their residences are now. So this parcel right now, as you see in the full green, is 58 acres. We would go through a subdivision process of that 16 to come up to the 42. We have it at appraised value of fair market value appraisal of $20,000 per acre for a total of $900,000. The county purchase amount would be $225,000 with a land donation value of $675,000 that would be donated.
That, the farm portion that you said that was the 16, is that going to be preserved in farmland preservation, or is it already?
It's not already, but at the request of the brothers, they want to keep it farmed.
Well, they could farm it if it was in farmland preservation, couldn't they?
They could, but as far as they don't know exactly down the road, it's so brothers, sons, and
So they just
future.
want to keep it unencumbered?
Yes,
Got it.
but everything that we've taught to them, keep it farm.
Got it. Just asked.
Yep. So when we look at this through the natural areas of the property, we have it within the Hockendackwa Creek NHRA, which is a natural heritage area, and it's actually within the yellow, which is one of the highest areas of concern. It's called the core habitat of that entire corridor of the NHA. It's the goals are to protect and preserve the species of concern there. There's threats to rural and suburban development and infrastructure, and I'll show that in a little bit. But once again, when we look at all of these different properties, we want to see how they fit in through the natural environment, and this is one of those prime examples of holding on to those core habitat areas of the whole watershed. And it's actually a significant area as well, where the slate and limestone are showing that they actually converge in this exact area. You can see in the pictures here, these are different. There's the limestone, there's the slate, and this is really one area within the county that it's nice to see preserved and to show educational-wise throughout the future. So once again, we see the green outline of the full 58, but what I want to show you is the red outlines to the north and to the south. And if we look at this even more blown up regionally, the development pressures around this are imminent and immediate. There's right to the north across the street, there's a housing that's development that's under review, and development potential on the south side where the green grass farm field area is. There's plans for development right on that already. So once again, preserving the streams, the corridors, this is a prime area to help preserve those areas. If you step out even further, if you're on Route 329 in the area of Weaversville and Howardtown Road, if you're familiar with the area, the old Copper Penny used to be there. Now it's major warehousing right in that area. And if you just drive a little bit more to the east, you'll hit our Spangler Preserve, and then you'll hit Airport Road where 2 more warehouses are. So this is another area that we're trying to help preserve within that corridor that is in danger and, well, immediate threat of development. So this is an overview of the Bednarczyk track in Allen Township, 42 acres, our 22nd park. Mature woodlands, rolling terrain, vegetated riparian areas. I talked about the Hockendaco Creek Greenway. There is a small pond on the area that's down below. And then there's scenic views and abundant wildlife already. When we were out on the tour, there was a family of wood ducks walking along the creek. There's turkey, deer, great habitat for a lot of different things right now. So the property goals are really what we are doing with our other preserves. Maintaining and improving water quality, enhancing the woodland composition, meadow restoration, stream bank improvements, riparian buffers, retain the natural scenic views, and provide interpretation for environmental education moving forward into the future. So here's a couple more photos of the new preserve. You can see the stream, the rock outcrops, vegetation, and a few more. And I don't want to call on you too much, but I might want to, there is history with the walking purchase. And if I'm correct, one of the individuals that was the runner or walker actually sat down on one of these rocks, and that was the last time he ever really got up.
Oh, where's that, like, what?
What do you mean?
He died. He was one of the, yes, he was one of the, and this is the property that as he was running, he was one of the three, the one that passed away. So as the walking purchase, the historical, the cultural, and also the natural areas, this is one of these prime areas of preservation for the county.
Wow, who knew? I know.
So we were out on a tour a little bit ago in the spring. They had their historic farm tractor, and they put us in the back of a bed, and we toured the property. It was a great opportunity. They're willing to do it moving forward in the future if anyone wants to get out and see the site. But that's our newest county preserve park or area. If you have any questions.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, very
Well,
good.
thank the Mausers. That's
Are you related to John Mount? Okay. You're,
He's my oldest brother.
he's your oldest brother. Okay,
There's
yeah,
four
you,
brothers.
4, okay. See, it runs in the family. I get it. I get it. That's awesome. Thank you so much. This is amazing. Any other comments? No. We're going to move it forward?
Move it forward.
Great. All right, we got it. It's on.
Tara, we also have the appraisal
appraisal.
thing and the livable landscape thing, if Brian
Yes.
wants to touch on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not on the agenda for the EELU, but it is
But
on
it's on the
council
agenda for
tonight,
council,
so. Oh, okay. We are gonna be putting in a DCNR grant application for this property for 200 and, where is it? $236,100 to help fund the property acquisition, including soft costs such as appraisals, subdivision, survey work, and all of that.
Fun stuff.
So that's what the resolution would be for tonight.
But that's already on the agenda. We don't have to move that up. Got it.
And then the other one is the waiver for the second appraisal. And the only reason we're requesting that is if we do get DCNR funding, we would have to do a technical review anyway at that point in time. So we've used pretty much the same appraiser in the past for most of our acquisitions, and she seems to be spot on. So instead of spending a few extra $1,000s, we've been going this way.
Okay, and that's already on as well, so we don't need to move that up. Do you have anything else associated with that? No. Okay. So then there's a presentation regarding the First Regional Compost Authority. John smiles because he knows how excited composting is.
So this property is, it's actually part of Wayne A. Group Park. It's on the very east end of the property. And we have a 7-bay shed over there that we use for some additional storage for salt, mulch, and some other things. The First Region Compost Authority does not have any type of actual bigger structure that they can do maintenance in under shelter, really. So they approached us and asked if there was any way that we could work out any kind of a maintenance agreement or a lease agreement with them, that they would be able to use a portion of that shed just to really work on their equipment and store some snow blowers or anything else in there. So out of the 7 bays, we would look at maybe 2 to 3 bays that they would be able to use.
Okay. So is there any resolution attached to that right now?
It would be the ordinance that was first introduced at the last council meeting.
Okay. Oh, right.
And then the management lease agreement should be attached to that as well.
That's in this paperwork. Okay, very good. And does anybody else have any other questions on that? Go ahead.
On the composting, one of the problems that I have is that I have a neighbor that has one of these, and it's always attacked by birds. What do we have to prevent wildlife from getting involved?
In the shed, or?
The composting area.
So it's run by the organization already. It's pretty a large-scale operation. I know it's fenced off. It's within a fenced-in area. I know you have to show your ID if you're one of the participating municipalities, if you live in one of those ones that pay funds towards that. Other than that, I don't know their management practices as well.
There are not that many, there's no homes in that area except for up.
No, it's literally between Wayne A. Group farmland and Bicentennial Park.
Right. And the other thing, I know that we always talk about this on the airport board, about how to scare birds away, because birds are a problem for like people who, people. Yeah, that, and for people who have, multi-million-dollar planes that they're putting in our hangars. But they're actually like sound wave devices that you could put to scare off birds that only they can hear. They use them for like blueberry farms and stuff like that. So, I mean, if it really did become a problem, it would be a very simple and not a very expensive solution.
Yeah, and this facility's been around for a decade or so at least. It was first granted through DCD at the county level with a DEP grant maybe or something. But yeah, it was first funded through that.
Yeah. So composting is a really good thing. I think that this is, I think it's great moving forward. I'm sure we'll find any solutions to any problems that occur, right? So discussion regarding the DCNR grant application, do we just do that with the
That was part of the Bernard track,
So it's not
yes.
a different one?
No,
So
it's just part of that.
we're just moving on. Does anybody else have any other items to discuss for the Energy, Environment, and Land Use Committee?
I just have 2 other updates.
Okay.
That if there's 2 kind of major events coming up here within the city of Easton in Northampton County. One being the Eastern Pennsylvania Greenways and Trails Summit. It'll be held in downtown Easton. The majority of it will be held in the State Theater itself. We're going to have lunch down at Easton Public Market. We're going to have the social event at night at Nurture Nature Center. So it's a great way to show off downtown Easton. This conference is going to be a little bit more unique than most of sitting in classrooms. There's going to be walking, biking, really getting people out to the outdoors. There's a half-day mobile event that will show off the newly constructed DNL in Northampton and North Caddy, and then go into Catasauqua and down into Allentown. And then the other one would go up to the Ballast Track in Bushkill and show off the Two Rivers Trail that coming down the Garrity easement that we just purchased to make that connection up to Jacobsburg and over to the Plainfield Township Trail. So it brings in all people really from all over Eastern PA. And we're really happy to be holding it here. And there's there's 5 different outdoor events on the Monday prior of that week on the 26th. There's a DNL bike ride from Allentown to Easton. There's a tree health and pruning workshop that'll be held at Louisemore Park. There's a land and water accessible tour, which is showing off the improvements up at Mincy Lake. There's a walking tour that's going to be out at Cover Bridge Park and in South Whitehall Township, talking about the Jordan Creek Greenway and the improvements that they've been doing there. And then out at Trexler Nature Preserve, there's a mountain biking tour that's a little bit more advanced, not for beginners. So it's a really neat way to kind of show off everything in the valley and really a lot of the stuff that we've been doing and improving here in the county as well.
And do you have dates for those events?
It would be the 26th, which is the Monday. And
September?
Yes, September. And then the 27th and 28th are when we held our in-person education and mobile events. And it's all online. Registration's open right now. DNL's our financial partner in that. So registration can be found on their website. The other thing, one of our great people to be working with us, Sherry Acevedo, has been nominated and actually has been, she's a professional photographer now for her photography for outdoor spaces and nature. She got a grant through the National Endowment of the Arts, and she's going to be having an exhibit down at Nurture Nature Center for September through November.
Really?
Yes. She's pulled together a couple different organizations, including Northampton County, DNL, Lehigh Valley Greenways, Friends of Mincy Lake, and DCNR as additional sponsorships to help fund over 40 pictures that'll eventually, after they're done at Nurture Nature Center, we'll be able to put them out in county facilities.
Is there a reception for that?
I'm getting there.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
sorry.
there is. On Saturday, September 10th, it's her opening reception, and it's from 1 to 4 p.m. With remarks at 2 p.m.
I think you may have one other announcement, and somebody just made the list of 40 under 40, the 40 under 40 list. She is on our Parks and Recreation committee.
She was, yes.
Oh, she's not, but she's.
Yes,
Claire.
Claire Sadler, the executive director with DNL, just made it. I just saw it the other day, actually, as part of the 40 under 40 for the Lehigh Valley. So she's been great to work with. I've known her over the past 10 years or so, and she's done a lot of great stuff, building up the Lehigh Valley Greenways grants and program, and now taking over as executive director of DNL. And she spent years on the Park Rec Open Space Advisory Board, in the past probably 3 or 4 at least as the chairperson. She just stepped down to take on another role. I believe she's on the board at Discover Lehigh Valley. That kind of interferes with the same scheduling. So,
Oh, okay.
but we did just we have Rob Knights. He's the manager at Jacobsburg, and he's replacing her. So we have Jacobsburg State Park, but he's also the internal lead for DCNR for Lehigh Valley Greenways. So we keep that connection of Lehigh Valley Greenways and
Right.
gain a ton of knowledge from him as well.
Yeah, I just want to note that because it seems like we have a lot of talent
Mm-hmm.
in our environmental division, and I just wanted to make sure all that was highlighted.
Yep,
And, whenever you get your award, Brian, we'll highlight that, okay?
sure. Well, I missed the boat on that one, so we're good.
The 40 under 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, but,
That's all right.
one day they're gonna be like 50 under 50.
Yeah, I'll go for the lifetime one. I'll sit
The
at that.
Lifetime
Yeah.
Achievement Award. There you go. See, you're going for
Yep.
the long haul. I got you. Okay. All right, hey, one more?
Yeah, I had a couple questions. These are follow-ups from our capital projects from yesterday that Louisemore
Oh, yeah.
Park, the facilities there, can you maybe comment on what's going on capital project-wise?
Bathroom?
Bathroom.
Okay, yeah, the CXT bathroom, we are waiting, I believe the plumber is the last portion of getting the contract in. We've been in contact with CXT, the provider of it. So whenever we get that figured out, they're kind of scheduling it out to hopefully a fall to get it in for us.
Yeah, the other thing that came up was the coroner's old building.
Yes.
Is there thoughts on that from the administration or yourself?
A long-term plan for that building hasn't been decided yet.
Okay.
That's the easy answer, yeah.
So just, I thought maybe if the parks had some thoughts that they might. Waihetuck, is that done?
No, the pavilion is purchased. Should be arriving in the fall. We purchased it in late June with like a 12 to 18-week time period after that. With COVID and everything that we've seen, the park itself, the DNL trail, we are most likely making an amendment to the original grant to take away from doing the large-scale playground. I personally don't feel that we have the capacity for cars to put another pavilion, put a better pavilion and add a bigger playground area to the already what the parking lot's being used for as a trailhead destination.
Mostly what it's for.
So what we're looking at doing is really going to be to upgrade the bathroom and maybe do a shower facility in there, which would go along with the bike camping that we're having established as part of the one of 3 sites along the 160 miles of the DNL.
That's great.
Yeah, it looks a lot nicer with that chain link fence going.
Yeah, we just put split rail up and the entryway will be worked on as well, so.
Yeah, that was an eyesore. The barn, Parks barn renovation, has there been any progress on that?
That's under negotiation as well, I believe.
Oh, so it hasn't moved forward yet?
There was a time where we put that on hold because we were working on a possible land donation or land acquisition, and that fell through, so we immediately jumped back on that, and it went back out to bid, and those are being reviewed right now.
Okay, yeah, because I was looking, the budget was $690,000, and I was wondering, I don't think we heard much about it yesterday, so it's still in your plans, though, to move ahead with it.
I believe so. Yep.
Okay.
The only other one that you haven't touched on would be the Norbath Trail. That Phase 3, I believe, is up for review tonight.
Yeah, we talked about that
Okay.
yesterday, but these were ones that came up that I thought I'd
Sure.
hash, so thank you very much.
Yep.
Great. Anybody else? Well, thank you, Brian.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you again. Yeah, I mean, we're all gonna vote on it tonight, but I'm feeling good about it, you know? So, maybe you'll stay for the council meeting. No, that's fine. Well then, thank you so much. I don't know, Lamont might wanna,
Picture?
yeah, so, no? Okay. Hey,
It's only me, so the other part's not here, so that's not very.
oh, that's so nice that you're so, like, you know, equitable about it. Thank you. Okay, so without further ado, then, can we adjourn the meeting? Yeah? Okay, great. Thank you. Hey, thank you again. Say hello to John.
The farm, the wagon, yeah.
Everybody loves a good neighborhood, you know?
Let's come now. Yeah. I didn't know if you guys were gonna come. I was on vacation last week and Sherry's this week and she's not even in the country, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She was before you.
Yeah. She looks like she's having a great time. I see her on all her